To Dust. Written by Kristen Mullings. 2025 copyright. Chapter 4, Teeth in the Dark. The scent of brimstone comes first, sharp, metallic, and wrong. It slithers through the trees like a whisper. I recognize it instantly. Soul hunters. They are close, Kael murmurs behind me. I raise a hand, signaling him to silence. My ears ring as I reach out, not with touch, but with magic. The threads of the forest vibrate with tension. Every leaf holds its breath. Every root curls back into the earth. 3 of them. No, 4. Moving in a crescent. Fast. Too fast for humans. Cover your blood, I hiss. They'll smell it. Kael presses his fingers to the cut on his ribs. The wound from last night's battle is sealed, but not fully healed. He mutters a word in the demon tongue. His blood pools tight against his skin like oil drawn into fire. The scent blinks out. They are not just tracking me, he says. They are hunting. For what? I whisper. He looks at me. You? Before I can speak, the first one crashes through the underbrush. It's not a man. Not really. Its skin is stretched thin over bones like a carcass left in the sun, black veins pulsing under its flesh. Its eyes glow sulfur yellow. Its jaw unhinges, revealing rows of needle-like teeth. A bloodwraith. My pulse spikes. Hell. Kael pulls a dagger from beneath his belt, etched in infernal runes. Stay behind me. You're slower than I am. And you're smaller. Exactly. I'm harder to hit. The creature lunges. I throw my hands forward and shout, Ignis Fractum. Flame bursts from my palms in a forked stream, splitting in midair, and slicing across the wraith's chest. It screams, an ear-splitting wail, and topples into the dirt, limbs spasming. Kael moves like a shadow, blade flashing once, twice. The wraith goes still. That was 1, I say, panting. 3 more. As if summoned, 2 more burst from the trees in opposite directions. I spin, flinging a rune sigil into the air, an old defense spell made of light and binding ash. But these wraiths aren't ordinary. They are fed. Fast. Smart. One circles me while the other charges Kael. I mutter a curse, feel the burn rise in my throat, and spit a trail of flame along the ground. It catches the dry leaves and ignites instantly, forming a ring of fire between us. The wraith hesitates. Good. I chant a second incantation, this one darker. Forbidden. By Shadow's debt and fire's vow, bind the beast beneath me now. The ground splits. Black tendrils shoot up from the soil, wrapping around the creature. We spin. But the 4th wraith doesn't come. It stands at the edge of the trees, watching us. This one is taller. Broader. A crown of bone juts from its skull like antlers. It doesn't lurch or snarl. It simply raises one long finger and points at me. Then it speaks. Daughter of Ash. Child of ruin. The circle weeps for you still. I freeze. It knows me. Kael steps between us, blade raised. Back off. The wraith tilts its head. He binds you to the flame. Your soul is marked. You are not free. My stomach knots. Who sent you? The wraith's jaw opens wide, but it doesn't answer. Instead, it collapses, folding in on itself like burned parchment, and scatters into the wind. Silence. Only the crackling of dying fire remains. Kael turns to me, his face tight. What the hell was that? I don't know, I say. But I've heard that voice before. When? I look at him. My hands are still shaking. The night the circle cast me out. We camp in the ruins of an old hunter's shrine. Ivy curls around shattered columns, and broken antlers hang from the trees like forgotten prayers. Kael tends to his wound while I ward the perimeter. "You're not just any witch," he says when I return. "You're marked." I sit beside him, my throat dry. "We are all marked. You think demons don't bear stains of their own. This is different." He unwraps the cloth from his arm. The gash pulses dark, as if something lives beneath the skin. It glows faintly, blue, not red. I reach for my satchel and pull out a vial of duskroot oil. "This might sting." "Not afraid of pain." I murmur. He flinches as I pour it into the wound. "Why would the Circle send a soul hunter after you?" he asks through gritted teeth. "They wouldn't." "But you said." "I said I heard the voice." "That doesn't mean it was theirs." Kael narrows his eyes. "Then who?" I pause. There's a name I've never spoken aloud. A name that still tastes like ash and grief. "Maeth," I say finally. "My sister." Kael stills. "You never mentioned a sister." I try not to. "Why?" "Because she's dead." The word hangs between us. Dead? But not gone. Your sister was a witch too. She was, more than that, I whisper. Maeth was the Ember matron's favorite. The prodigy. Beautiful. Powerful. Chosen. I lived in her shadow my entire life. He studies me. What happened? I swallow hard. She turned on me. Said I defiled the Circle with dark magic. That I stole secrets from the Veil. She told them I was dangerous. Was it true? I never touched death magic. Not until after they took everything. Kael nods slowly. And now you think she's alive? I think something wears her voice. His hand brushes mine. It's not a romantic gesture. It's steady. Anchoring. But it burns all the same. You don't have to face this alone, he says. I've always been alone. You're not anymore. I meet his gaze. And for the first time since the flames took my home, I want to believe him. That night, I dream of fire. Not the good kind. Not the dancing warmth of a campfire or the flash of battle. This is white fire. Cleansing. Consuming. Sacred. I stand at the center of the Circle's sanctum, naked but for ash paint across my skin. Witches chant around me, their faces blurred, cloaked in veils. Then I see her. Maeth. Eyes like molten gold. Lips curled in a cruel smile. Do you still think you're worthy of the flame? She whispers. The fire roars up around me. My skin peels. My magic screams. I wake choking, sweat slick on my chest, Kael crouched at my side, hand gripping my shoulder. Seren, he says. You were thrashing. I sit up, gasping. It was her. Maeth. Another vision. No, I whisper. A warning. He frowns. Of what? I stare into the trees. And say the words I've dreaded for years. She's coming back. Chapter 5, Cinders Beneath the Skin. I used to think nightmares couldn't follow you into the waking world. That once your eyes opened, your mind would be safe again. But morning is cruel when your dreams carry teeth. Kael is already awake when I stir. He's crouched at the edge of the crumbling shrine, his cloak drawn tightly around his shoulders. The storm that came sometime before dawn has turned the earth into a cold, black sludge. Mist clings to the ground like breath that refuses to die. I sit up slowly, bones aching. My magic is still ragged from the fight. He doesn't look back when he says, "You cried out her name again." I nod. I know. Do you remember what she said? She asked if I still thought I was worthy of the flame. Kael turns now. And do you? The answer coils somewhere in my throat, sharp and bitter. I don't know. I drag my fingers through my hair, noticing the ends are charred again, my power flaring in my sleep. I used to fear losing control. Now I'm starting to fear what it means that I haven't lost it yet. That something inside me is guiding it. Shaping it. Watching. Kael kneels beside me and presses a dried fruit into my hand. Eat. You'll need your strength if we are going where I think we are going. I eye him warily. And where exactly do you think we are going? To the hollow glen. My stomach drops. You can't be serious. He shrugs. You said Maiath is tied to the circle. The glen is the oldest of the buried sanctuaries. If she's summoning wraiths or using sacrificial magic, that's where she'd hide the evidence. No one goes there, Kael. Not even the circle. It's cursed. His eyes darken. I'm a prince of the damned, Seren. Do you think I give a damn about curses? No, I mutter. You just cause them. Still, I chew the fruit in silence, the sweetness turning sour on my tongue. He's right. If Maiath's back, or whatever wears her voice, we need answers. And the hollow glen has always been sacred ground for the Ashbourne line. Before she betrayed me, it was where Maiath and I carved our first spell into bark. Where she taught me how to twist root magic into flame. Where she promised I'd never be alone. That promise turned to ash. We leave by midday, the sun swallowed by storm clouds, the forest growing quieter the deeper we go. There are no birds. No insects. Only the crunch of brittle leaves and the occasional groan of trees bending under their own rot. The hollow glen hasn't just been abandoned, it's been forgotten. As if the earth is trying to erase it. Stay close, I whisper. Kael's footsteps are light behind mine, but I can feel the energy vibrating from him like static. His blood is reacting to this place. To the magic steeped in the soil. I stop at a hollow tree carved with ancient sigils. The bark still bears the branded spiral of the Ember matrons. This is it. Kael looks around. Charming. We have to be careful. These wards might still respond to blood. He smirks. Then it's a good thing you've got more than enough fire in yours. I crouch and press my palm to the sigil, breathing in deep. By name forgotten, and blood once sworn, open the way once more. Nothing happens. I frown and press harder, letting a drop of blood fall into the grove. The ground shudders. Roots groan beneath the soil. The bark splits with a sound like breaking bone, revealing a spiral staircase carved into the earth. Kael whistles low. Impressive. Don't be fooled, I say, pulling my cloak tighter. This place is hungry. The descent into the hollow glen feels like being swallowed. The stairs narrow, lit only by bioluminescent fungi that pulse a dull blue. The air thickens with the scent of damp stone and old ash. We reach the base of the glen, where ancient stone slabs mark the ruins of a circular sanctuary. The walls are etched with runes older than any living witch. I trace one with my fingers. They used to say this place was built over a rift, I murmur. Where fire met death. A gate that bled both ways. Kael doesn't respond. His eyes are fixed on the altar at the center of the space. I follow his gaze. The altar is freshly used. Charred bones rest in a spiral, each set carefully placed, not scattered. Ritual precision. Runes etched in blood mark the floor. And in the center, a single strand of silver hair. My stomach clenches. Myths. Kael picks it up. It's real. She's here. My voice is barely a whisper. Or close. He stiffens suddenly. Someone's watching. We spin, too late. A blast of force hits us from the shadows. Kael is flung backward into a pillar. I hit the ground, wind knocked from my lungs. A figure emerges from the dark, cloaked in crimson, her face hidden beneath a mask of bone and ruby. She moves like Myth. But this thing isn't my sister. Not anymore. You came home, little Cinder, she says in a voice that slides like oil. Myth. I choke. The mask tilts. She left pieces behind. I wear them well, don't you think? I crawl to my feet. What are you? Your shadow. She raises a hand, and the runes around the altar flare with light. Energy slams into my chest, pinning me to the stone. Kael roars, eyes blazing, but he's still dazed. She gave you up so easily, the voice says. When the circle marked her for sacrifice, she whispered your name like a secret prayer. You burned, so she wouldn't have to. She betrayed me. I scream. No, the voice hisses, stepping closer. She tried to save you. And I saved her. I shake, vision blurring. You're lying. She begged me to take the pain. The flame. The curse. I did. And now, I will burn the world to keep my promise. Kael staggers upright, blood at the corner of his mouth. You're a wraith wearing skin. I'll cut you from it. The masked thing laughs. Come find me then, Prince. She vanishes in a flash of red. The force pinning me breaks. I collapse to my knees. Kael rushes to me, pulling me up. You all right? No, I whisper. She's not gone. His jaw tightens. What the hell was that? I wipe the blood from my lips. A piece of Myth's soul, I say. Corrupted. Bound to something darker. She made a pact. Kael's voice drops. With who? I don't know. But I will. As we leave the hollow glen, I press my hand against one of the old trees. I whisper a silent vow to the roots, to the fire, to the parts of Myth that might still be somewhere inside the thing I saw. I'm coming for you, I say. Even if I have to burn every shadow you hide in. Kael stands beside me, his voice low. Then we better start gathering kindling. And together, we walk into the smoke. Chapter 6, The Demon's Name. There's something strange about silence after a storm. It's too clean, too sharp, like a blade scraped across glass. The hollow glen sits behind us, but its weight clings to my skin like soot. I can feel it, something was taken when I stepped into that place. And something else was left in me. Kael hasn't spoken since we emerged from the stairwell. His expression is grim, eyes constantly scanning the tree line. His grip on his blade hilt is tighter than usual. I know he's thinking about the thing we saw. The mask. The voice that wasn't quite Myth. So am I. We make camp in a thicket of thorns, away from the main paths, hidden from any cursed eyes that might still follow us. Kael breaks the silence first. She was tethered to something. Old? Not of this realm. I felt it too, I say, poking at the fire. There was another presence behind the mask. Bigger than her. It let her wear her own skin again, for a price. Kael nods, jaw tight. A soul pact. Demonic. Possibly. He looks up, his golden eyes burning low. But not like me. I study him. Then what are you? He's quiet for a while. The flames crackle between us, casting long shadows on the ground. Finally, he says, "You've never asked me that before." "I'm asking now." He exhales through his nose, then slowly pulls off the gloves he always wears. His hands, always hidden, are marked with runes. Dark sigils etched in deep, old scars. They look burned in. "This is what binds me here," he says. "This is the mark of exile." I reach forward without thinking, fingertips brushing one of the sigils. The skin beneath it pulses faintly, as if something ancient still breathes through the ink. "What did you do?" I whisper. Kael stares into the fire. "I chose a mortal over a throne." My breath catches. He continues. "I was promised a kingdom. My father, Seren, offered me dominion over a realm of flame if I completed a rite. A sacrifice. But the one he gave me to kill was innocent." His lips curl bitterly. She had done nothing but exist. And that was enough for him to condemn her. Who was she? Someone who looked at me like I wasn't a monster. I go still. "She reminded me of you." His voice is softer now, frayed at the edges. I refused. "My father cursed me. Stripped my name from the infernal records, cast me out of his court. I've been wandering ever since. I don't know what to say. I expected blood. Violence. Maybe even some sick amusement from him. But not this. Not regret." Kael turns to me. "Now you know. I am a prince without a realm. A demon without a name." "No," I say firmly. "You have a name." He blinks. "You're Kael. You're the one who stood between me and a burning curse. The one who helped me bury my grief. The one who doesn't flinch when I lose control." He says nothing, but his hands tremble slightly. I add, "And I don't think your exile was a punishment. I think it was a test. One you passed." Kael leans back, staring up through the canopy. "You really are dangerous," he murmurs. "You make me want to be something more." The silence between us stretches, no longer sharp but soft. Warm. I shift closer to the fire, feeling the exhaustion of the day settle into my limbs. My body aches, but my heart feels steadier. "Rest," he says, settling beside me. "I'll keep watch." I lie down, cloak tucked around me. For the first time in days, I fall asleep to something other than dread. When I dream, it's different this time. The woman in my vision is still cloaked in flame, but she doesn't speak in Myeth's voice. She says, "The pact is not yet sealed. You must choose the shape of your fire." "I don't understand," I say. "What fire? The one you will wield, or the one that will consume you?" She steps forward, hand outstretched. Inside her palm is a small, flickering ember. It pulses like a heartbeat. "Take it," she whispers. Before she does, I wake with a jolt. Kael's beside me in a flash, weapon drawn. "What is it?" I sit up, shaking. A vision. Not Myeth. Someone else. Kael eyes me. The Ember Matron. I nod slowly. "Maybe." She gave me a choice. A fire. "Then you need to decide fast," Kael says, motioning toward the horizon. In the distance, a pillar of smoke rises into the sky. "Something's burning," he mutters. "Close." We reach the source by midday, a small village, or what's left of it. The buildings are cinders. Bodies charred beyond recognition. The earth smells of brimstone and sacrificial blood. I cover my mouth. Gods? Kael crouches beside a corpse. Witch fire. My heart lurches. Myth. He shakes his head. No. Not just her. This is amplified. Enhanced by demonic energy. My thoughts reel. Myth's not working alone anymore. Kael straightens. And she's leaving a trail. I spot something glinting in the rubble, a medallion scorched but intact. I pick it up, brushing away the ash. It bears the crest of the circle. She's targeting them, I whisper. One by one. Kael's gaze is hard. Then she's not just summoning wraiths. She's purging her past. And framing me in the process, I growl. The thought coils in my gut like rot. I stare into the ashes of the village, resolve hardening. We follow the smoke, I say. Until there's nothing left to burn but the truth. Kael steps beside me, voice quiet. And when we find her, I look up at him, flame flickering in my eyes. We end this. Together.